afternoon, everybody. Just wanted to welcome you to this afternoon. Trust that you're doing okay on day 12 of lockdown. And I know that even though it's strange circumstances that we seem to be finding ourselves in, despite that, it is an incredible time. It's a pocket of time that has never ever been ventured in before, and it's been a beautiful opportunity. I'm thoroughly enjoying the time that I'm getting to spend with our children and just adventuring around the garden like we used to when they were toddlers, and just enjoying nature together, and just really doing a lot of baking and cooking with them and a whole lot of dishes, but it's been great. It's been such a precious time. So I'm going to share something with you this afternoon that's somewhat of an adventure that I actually had this morning. So I've had 2 mandatory trips that I've had to make to the shops since lockdown. And on my last trip back, I got home and I realized that I had forgotten to buy honey. And I really enjoy having honey in my coffee, and our son really enjoys having honey in his tea. And I was a little bit disappointed and added it to the top of the perpetual shopping list for the next time that I'd have to go out. And obviously the inevitable ended up happening last night, and the honey finished. So this morning, I was making the gang our tea, a round of tea and coffee, and as I was making it, I heard a sound, and I looked across to the bananas, and right by the bananas, there was this bee just flying around, just resting on it, and then buzzing around a little bit, and then resting again. And I was so intrigued by it, and it was so beautiful that I actually wanted to take a photo of it. So here's the picture that I took. I took the photo of it, and it was just so beautiful, and it was just a lovely thing to have captured. And I set my phone down, and the very next thing that I did was open the sugar bowl to get some sugar out. And the first thing to meet me was this spoon. Now on top of it has got a bee, and it was one from a set that I'd bought, and I'd given them away as gifts. And my daughter fell so in love with this that she insisted that she ended up having one of them. So that was hers, and somehow it had ended up in the sugar container. But it was so weird because I was seeing it literally straight after taking the photo of the bee. Immediately a story from the Bible came to mind, and I just banked that thought. I thought, I just was reminded of it. Anyways, a little bit later, I went to go and get something out of the cupboard. And as I stretched in to get it, I saw right in the back corner a jar of honey, this tub, and I'd forgotten that I'd actually got it in preparation for the lockdown. And I was just delighted when I found it, because it was just like such amazing provision. And obviously, once again, I was reminded of the story. So I want to read that story to you. It's from Judges 14, verse 5. And Samson's going to introduce his parents to the lady that he'd like to marry. So it says, Samson went down to Timnah together with his father and mother. As they approached the vineyards of Timnah, suddenly a young lion came roaring toward him. The Spirit of the Lord came powerfully upon him, so that he tore the lion apart with his bare hands, as he might have torn a young goat. But he told neither his father nor his mother what he had done. Then he went down and talked with the woman, and he liked her. Okay, so verse 8, sometime later, he went back to marry her. He turned aside and looked at the lion's carcass, and in it he saw a swarm of bees and some honey. He scooped out the honey with his hands and ate it as he went along. When he rejoined with his parents, he gave them some, and they too ate it. And what I just felt from that story, of what I'd want to encourage you with this afternoon, is that there was a situation where there was like perceived death, and there was absolutely no hope. Sometimes we can find ourselves in that kind of a situation, and there's just nothing. It's just dead. And I wanted to encourage you by saying that provision can sometimes come out of those places and not just be a benefit and a blessing to us, but it can actually become sustenance for other people. If I think about this time that we're in, it really is so financially precarious. My heart is so for those people that generate their own income and for the small business owners. And we've been fiercely praying for that group of people who are in a bit of a vulnerable predicament as they aren't making a salary at the moment. And it can almost seem like you're in a financially dead place. Also think about the area of relationships. It could be perceived that, you're feeling isolated and alone. But I wanted to encourage you that this time could be a beautiful opportunity for you to taste and see that the Lord is good, to forge your relationship with Him, to entrench yourself in Him. And out of that place, let Him bring to mind maybe someone who needs a message, who may also be feeling lonely or isolated. And then you start to become something where you have been blessed by that thing out of a dead place, and you then become sustenance to someone else. I also love the thought of the fact that it's a great picture of the cross, where the ultimate honey came out of the carcass. If you think about the fact that from the sacrificial death of Jesus on the cross came the sweetness of new life. And I just wanted to leave you with this one scripture. It's Romans 8, verse 28. And we know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love Him and who are called according to His purpose. So I just wanted to encourage you with that, friends. I really trust that strengthens you and it really blesses you in the season that you're in. Take care. Enjoy the rest of the day.